I start out by asking all of you to show your appreciation for these 8 brave people who are willing to take on leadership. This is a big commitment. Some of us, I know I grew up thinking that, gee, you know, people just want to get into council and tell everybody else what to do. But having been close enough to watch what they actually have to do, that is a lot of work. It's a big commitment for them, and an even bigger commitment for their family. To be gone from their kids and their loved ones, to sit up, not just hear their council meetings. That's a big commitment. I appreciate that. So what we'd like to do first is just go down the table, ask each person to take 2 minutes to introduce themselves and tell us why they're running for council. I should just.
Good evening. I'm Candace Wilson, Quanstana. First person I'd like to thank is the great Creator. I'd like to thank my mother, my husband, and my children for always being there and being good, solid support. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here this evening, from the oldest to the youngest. And I'm running for position H. The first year I got on council was 2005. And there's been tremendous growth within the nation. We walked right into a $9 million deficit in health care, and we had to quickly mobilize and make some big decisions for the nation. And with that, making good decisions, we were able to turn things around, get back on track, and move forward. Over the years, we've seen progress from the old CMAT initiative, and that includes the site chin and the Youth Academy. And moving on, we've had most recently the new administration building and the Head Start building and the expansion of Northwest Indian College,
Peace.
to mention a few. But I'm committed, I'm dedicated, I believe I have good experience. I'm looking forward to this evening, the fellow candidates, and to listen and share with the nation what we've been doing and what the nation wants us to work on. So, Haishka, thank you, each and every one of you.
Good evening. I am Julie Beefarner, Lisa. And for starters, same as Candace, I'd like to give thanks to all the people that are here, from the youngest to the oldest, of course. I want to thank my family in the back, or she's in the front, or however we want to look at it. My mom and dad, Bob and Della Beefarner, my brother Bertie is here, and Mickey, and Angel, and Ralph, and Brenda, and many other relatives here. We're all related one way or another. I am running for council. This is the second time I've ran. Last year I ran against Johnny Felix in the general election. We had a lot of fun doing that. And I had a lot of support from a lot of the community members, including my cousin Candace here. She was actually one of my big supporters. I'm running because I believe in our sovereignty. I believe in the jurisdiction. I believe in our inherited rights, as well as our primary rights, and protecting our treaty rights from all aspects. I am big on opposing the no coal. I don't want huge for me, family, coming from fishermen. I grew up on the water as a fisherwoman. Learning from my dad and my brothers, everything about that. I am also running because I want to assist and help and support preserving our culture and our traditions, and more so our language. I'm so proud of the growth that we have when it comes to the Lummi language. I think every one of our families is starting to get more involved with that. I'm learning that, but I have a long ways to go. I'm all about education, just as most of us sitting in this room and at this table. I am about job security for our tribal members, and I believe that we need to get into the younger generations from the Head Start on up and start educating them on their futures, which also include a criminal background and the importance of not having a criminal background. I'm about I'm about prevention in the community when it comes to drugs and alcohol. I think it's really important that we really need to get into the Head Start and early learning and start educating our people from 3 years old on up, which also includes the family members. I want to give thanks to all the candidates here, especially Ken. She's done an awesome job in the last couple of terms she's been in office. And once again, I'd like to thank all of you. I'm going to go to the
Good evening. My name is Merle Jefferson Sr. And anyway, the reason I'm running for council, this is my 5 terms already, 15 years I served on the LABC. And also, I'm kind of following my footsteps of my grandfather, my dad. My grandfather, Eddie Jefferson, was the first chairman of the LABC. My dad served on council for 15 years, so I'm just kind of following the footsteps here. I lived all my life on the reservation, and I'm also the current Eleanor executive director, so I've been there for over 28 years, 3 years. I started my career in 1970 in aquaculture, so I've been around here and I've been involved in a lot of stuff since 1970, so I do got a lot of experience in protecting treaty rights, and I'm dedicated. If you look back in the history of our tribes here, looking back what we accomplished, we did a whole lot of things around the reservation here, starting back in aquaculture, starting back in self-governance. We got a new clinic, we got a new school. We got a lot of things that we should be proud of from our fellow councilmen who worked very hard. Sam Davey, Earl Lane, and Dutch Kennedy goes on and on. Penny LeClaire, and so on. There's a lot of guys that it's not only teamwork. I believe in teamwork. We can do a lot of things, if we're teamwork here, just like this casino. This casino was nothing but a big field here. Now look what we're doing here. We got jobs. We got the most money we ever did make. The casino here. We do over $30 million a year. And I'm there to do that, I'm there to protect the environment. And also, I'm against coal too. Coal is bad, it's their backyard. Thank you.
Siam, Michelle, Siam, Salitsala, Close, Good evening, everyone. My name is Shasta Cano-Martin. My traditional name is Salitsala Close. I share that name with my great aunt Joanna Hall and my first cousin Cindy Bourne. The name originates from my great grandmother Anna Cooper. She was married to John Lewis, so people know her as Annie Lewis. My grandparents were Donald Lewis Sr., Chief Sahumpkin, and my grandmother was the late Hazel Jefferson. My mom raised me as a single mom, and that is Debbie Lewis Miranda. Just a quick history. I know Merle and I were talking about how we're related and just how sometimes we don't get that connection with each other, knowing who we are. So thanks for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself. I'm married to Cano-Martin Jr. We have 2 children together, Montoya and Malachi, 12 and 8 years old. The purpose of me running for council is really to promote youth and elders and promote success among our youth. So, in just talking with the community, a lot of times our elders feel left out of decisions, and a lot of times our young people feel left out of decisions. So, I want to have an opportunity to bring that voice to the table on tribal council. So, hi Sharon, thank you.
Thank you, Shasta. My name is Palacia. My grandfather, Felix Alonso, named me a number of years ago, and my grandfather's family here in Lummi is the Ballou family, the Reef family, the Casimir Wilson family, and Josephine Schultz family. And my mother, Mary Plaster, and my stepfather, Jim Plaster, they were both on the council, did many years of helping the tribes come to where they are today. They started those organizations before the Northwest Indian Fish Commission, and so they were working with all the tribes on their own, getting that back in the 50s, 60s, and so on, and then it started to take off in the 70s. But I really want to take this time to thank our dear friend, my dear cousin Leroy Deerdorf, who had this position before me, and Cheryl and I are now vying for that position, but I want to thank him for his many years of dedicated service to the tribe. And I want to thank Harlan and Ramona Charles also. And in my previous 9 years on the council, I started in 2002. 3 of those years I served as the tribal treasurer. And I want to reiterate what was said, that the Lummi leaders are national government leaders. We're the leaders of all the 500 and some tribes, and numerous unrecognized tribes look to us. But we went ahead and we fought the IRS, and we won. And we did that with our council ingenuity and our support staff. And we also did the bolt decision, and that was paid for by the Lummi fishermen. Thank you, Ralph. But yeah, they paid for that, and everybody benefited. And so what we also did was, right now though, you're fighting taxation, and this is happening on other reservations. Your elders and even your minor children that are getting, whether it's material or money from the tribes, they're getting IRS taxes right now, and that's a big issue on the table currently right now, and our government leaders have to stand up and say, you're not taxing us, you're not taxing our elders, you're not taxing our children. But you know, we've come a long ways. We've got our own school, and boy, are we proud of that. And then, you know, we had our casino in 1980, we had our casino in 1997, and now in 2002, we're so proud of this casino. And we have to keep this going. We have to keep this progress moving. We can't allow anything to turn us back. We have to come together as a unit, and we have to come together as best friends. We have to agree on things and work as a tribal team, and we're all going in one direction because the majority of our population is very, very young, and they need all of our support. Now, we all know that the federal government's in trouble, and without the federal funding, we have to expend our resources and create alternative revenues, and we can do that if we work together. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for showing up. I know we're listening to Seahawks game, Red Sox, so I'll keep it short. My name is Cheryl Sanders. My Indian name is Takwilza. I'm the daughter of the late Mary Good Kinley. I'm married to Carl Sanders, and we have 2 young adult children, Sheena and Mitchell. And I'm blessed with 2 grandsons that I share with the Swinomish tribe, Evan and Landon. One of my goals has always been the youth. You know, so of these guys sitting up here, I used to be their supervisor. They worked for me as youth supervisors, so I believe in Lummi employment. I believe in education. I believe in health care for all of our people. Everything that Merle and Sherry and Kenny reiterated, those are things we need to do as tribal leaders. Those are questions you need to be asking us. It's nothing new. That should be our priority, is always to protect our sovereignty, our jurisdiction, our people. Preserve, promote, protect. That's what I'm about. And equitability to services for everybody. And I was the treasurer in the worst of times, and I was also the treasurer in the best of times. And now we're kind of flatlining, as Merle and Sherry were discussing. I sat in the budget committee meeting today. LIBC is learning from their lessons. They're adapting. I like that. That's good business. And no suffering of our people or our membership. You know, my sister Connie sits on the budget committee, and she has all this history. She reminds us when we're sitting there, and she's an elder, so she can say what she wants. And she reminds us that's important. We need people to remind us, no matter who's sitting up here. And I want to thank all the candidates. We had a good 20-some people run this year. Don't give up. Keep running. Show up at general council meetings. Show up at council meetings. Get on the policies committees. Get on the school boards. I'm also on the fire commission. Nobody knew why my name was on back of that ballot. I've been in the fire commission for 1.5 years, but I'm the silent partner for us. So. But thank you for your time tonight.
Nice.
Good evening.
Oh, Sam.
First of all, I just want to thank everybody for coming tonight and taking a part in this election. I want to thank all the candidates, my partner in crime here. I was telling Turtle, I was like, how am I going to keep a straight face with you right here? But first of all, you know, my parents are Tony, Toby, and the late Luella Lane, Toby. Tonight, you know, I want to, you know, just thank my son for, you know, always being by my side.
Oh.
I worked on the road all the time. I was out of town all the time. So I had to depend on him to be independent.
Oh, Sam.
And so I take good pride in what I do to raise my son.
Yes, Sam.
You know, and that just comes down from the silent leaders or the ones that sat back like my mother, but always told us what to do and how to do it and to do it in a humble way and do it for our people. And she always told me, if you ain't going to do it for the people, then get out of there.
Yes, yeah.
So that's what I will bring to the table. I bring it to the table every time, you know, I hear a tribal member's concern. I'll try to give them an answer. If I don't, I will contact them, and I'll continue doing that. So thank you.
Yes, Sam.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Victor Johnson. Everyone knows me as Turtle. I want to thank all the candidates that were here and all the candidates last week as well. I also want to thank the voters. Mainly, I want to thank the voters for coming out to come and show your support for all of the candidates. And I come from a long line of speakers myself. I'm still trying to find my niche in all that, and trying to get my stride going. I get kind of nervous a little bit, but as time goes on, I kind of get used to being up here and seeing everyone's faces. And you guys are all beautiful people. My father was Vern Johnson Jr. He was a great man. He created one of the greatest things for all of our people is water resources. He always said water resources is going to be key in the future. And I'm so excited because I work in that division that he created. I've worked in natural resources for 12 years. I have a 12-year-old son who attends school here in Whatcom County, and my mom is Andrea Johnson. She supported me, like all my family has supported me through this whole thing. I wanted to thank all of the families that I got a chance to go around and visit. Thank you for opening up your homes to me. And I'm sorry if I didn't get to your home just yet. I'm still in school. I take a lot of evening classes, but you know, I'm like, as soon as this term's up, I'm not going to take any evening classes. So I'll move forward. Thought I'd say something to make this a little funny. So I like long walks on the beach. Candlelit dinners. You guys are beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.